Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I am your host, Catherine Basu, and I'm excited to have you joining me for today's episode. Another one I have recorded in my mini-series that is being released in honor of the 1-year anniversary of my book being published. If you're new here, you can check out my book, Superwomen Secrets Revealed. Successful women talk about fitting in fitness and dare you to join them by requesting it anywhere books are sold or by heading on over to fitarmadillo.com/books, where I have some hardbacks available and information about the book itself and dates for my upcoming book tour. So definitely check that out. I do have limited numbers of the hardback on hand, so make sure you don't wait too long if you'd like to get a signed copy and you're not able to come out and meet me during my travels, but that is available for you. And in case you're not able to head out or you just like to get your inspiration in audio format, I wanted to create this series for you. So I hope you enjoy it. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to today's guest. My guest today is Kylie Travers. Kylie overcame domestic violence, homelessness, robbery, rape, paralysis, a cancer scare, and mental health issues as a single mom to become a multiple international award-winning CEO, keynote speaker, author, blogger, and charity advocate in the space of 3 years. Through her work, Kylie won 3 Plutus Awards, was a finalist for Young Australian of the Year, and a runner-up for numerous other business and advocacy awards. Kylie was the youngest ever director on a board for a homeless charity in Canberra and is passionate about ending homelessness and domestic violence. Kylie's focus is helping others turn obstacles into opportunities and helping Australians to make and save money to empower independence, which she does predominantly through her websites The Thrifty Issue and kylietravers.com.au. Kylie also works with national and international governments regarding finance, marketing, charity efforts, and public speaking. She lives in Melbourne, Australia with her 2 daughters, and you can find her at thethriftyissue.com.au or kylietravers.com.au, and I'll spell everything for everyone in the show notes so you guys can get that correctly. But Kylie, welcome to the podcast. It's so exciting to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's exciting to be here.
So we touched base a few years back when I had you on the blog, when I started this whole series trying to get women to share their stories of inspiration and how and why they fit in fitness, and be fun to catch up with you, and wanted to just see, I'm sure maybe things have changed since the last time we chatted, but what's a day in life of Kylie look like? How do you fit fitness into your schedule?
Yeah, a lot has changed because it's been nearly 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
For me, now where I live now, I've moved house and everything in the last couple of years, so I live a bit further away from my daughter's school. So one of the things we do is we walk everywhere. We sold our cars, so it's not an option, like we have to walk, which means that every day I'm doing at least 10,000 steps, if not more. And it also means that my daughters have gotten used to walking further distances because we don't drive anywhere. It's saved a lot of money too, which has been great. On top of that, they go to school near a giant park, so we're often over there playing on the playground and that sort of thing. So just sort of trying to organically fit fitness in. But I've also started doing a dance class, which terrified me to start with. Made me exercise more because I have to practice the routine during the week because I am the most uncoordinated person I know. So
I don't know, we might be tied there.
It's so bad. The whole class is like doing the dance and they're like, the teachers goes, oh, so everybody got that? And the rest of the class is like, yeah, it's great. And I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like a baby deer learning to steer. I'm the only one that didn't get that. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, moving on. And they do the I'm like, I'll just learn it from the video during the week.
Right. No, I'm the same way. I took some dance classes like the last 2 years and I had to videotape everything and practice at home.
Yes. Oh my gosh. But it's so good because it means that every day I'm doing this routine over and over and over and over.
Right.
And I'm enjoying it and I'm liking it more than going to the gym and that sort of thing. And so, yeah, it's all just, flowing nicely, which is good.
Awesome. So that's good. So fitting it in just to make sure you're practicing and not embarrassing yourself in class later.
I don't want to rock up at the following week and be the only one still not knowing how to do the routine and then moving on to the next bit and not knowing that either. Like, not paying for classes to be really bad.
Right, right. So has fitness always been a part of your routine, Kylie, or how has that, become part of your daily life?
When I was younger, as a kid, we always were involved in a lot of sports. That was something that my parents really encouraged, predominantly competitive sports, and we were encouraged to win. That was a big thing. So coming from like a competitive sporty family, I think that helps. But once I got married and I had the kids, I didn't exercise as much for a while, and I did put on a lot of weight. And then I've had health issues and stuff over the years, which I could attribute directly to not taking care of myself, not focusing on my health and fitness and that sort of thing. So it is something that now I focus on strongly, and I make sure that every day I'm doing something, and I have like apps to track everything, and I've got a daily goal tracker on my wall to, mark off and make sure that I'm doing stuff every day. And I used to, for a while, make sure that I do incidental exercise. For example, if I had to, boil a pot to cook some rice or whatever, I'd do some squats or something whilst it was boiling.
Sure.
But then, like that, I don't know, I got distracted for a while and it stopped. So I've started all that sort of stuff again. And it's amazing how much exercise you can fit in when you do little stuff like that whilst you're waiting. And it's really funny, actually. I turned around the other day and there was my almost 9-year-old daughter watching TV doing squats. And I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, oh, Mum, I'm doing my squats. I'm like, you don't need to. And she goes, it's fun. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm okay for you doing this sort of stuff if you think it's fun. So it's interesting that it has that flow-on effect to the kids. Like, if you're doing it and they see you doing it, they're going to do it as well. So I think that's really important. And it keeps me accountable as well. I find if I'm not accountable, it's easy to let those sort of things slide, but having people watching and checking that you're doing what you should be doing makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's funny, right? That kids really do imitate us more than they listen to what we tell them that they have to do, right?
Oh, so much. Like, actions speak louder than words. My parents used to say that all the time when I was a kid, and I'd be like, whatever.
If you're walking with us and only have 15 minutes, that is your halfway point cue. Turn around now.
As a parent, oh wow, your actions speak really loudly through your kids.
Sure. So what are some of the benefits you found, Kylie, from fitting fitness into your life?
I found I actually have more time. My day seems to be a little bit more structured if I start off with doing some sort of exercise in the morning, whether it be yoga before the kids go to school or just making sure after I've dropped them off, I do a big long walk around the park or something. I have more energy and I'm more focused. And so then I can come back and I can do a whole lot more work. And it's really made a difference too in my relationship with my kids, because I can play on the park with them. Most of the other mums can't. Like, I can do a bunch of stuff with them. When we travel, we can do a whole lot more because I have just as much energy as they do. And that's made a huge difference. But on top of that too, having previously had issues with paralysis and a cancer scare and that sort of thing, I'm really conscious of ensuring that my body and my core is strong so that I don't end up in a situation again where I'm paralyzed and I can't do anything and I can't play with my kids and that sort of thing. I never want to be in that sort of position again. So that is all major motivation for it. But yeah, mostly it's freed up a lot of my time and energy. So, yeah.
I love that you share that, because I think sometimes we think that it's going to just, be a time suck and something else on our to-do list. But really, when you actually implement, getting that into your routine, it does end up providing more space because you are more focused, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like the brain space, like the head space that you get, because I found the other thing is too, this is for all my siblings and my dad, all of us in our family, if we're really stressed out or whatever, we need to go for a run. And it sort of clears our head and we can think through whatever it is that we're needing to do. But first off, the focus is just to run. And you're just running and your mind can sort of go blank, but you can solve so many problems whilst you're exercising. And then you can come back in a completely different headspace, which means whatever needed to be sorted is sorted. And also whatever it is that you're wanting to focus on, you can focus on because your head's clear. And it's amazing how quickly things can get done when you can think clearly.
Right. No, absolutely. No, I I love running for that for that exact reason. Always have some problem I'm solving and get a great idea, or maybe great in quotes idea when I'm running. But awesome. So do you always, Kylie, I know you have your dance routine, so you're trying to practice that, but do you feel like you always end up sticking to your routine 100%? And if not, how do you go about getting back on track when you miss a day? Because that's something that people struggle with a lot. So if you have any solutions for that.
I think I really suck at sticking to routines, but I have lots of things there to sort of like give me an idea. Like I have, there's an app called Way of Life, which I've put in the things that I want to do every day. So whether it's, X amount of squats, practice the dance routine for half an hour, whatever it is.
Okay.
And at 9, I've got it set to 9 p.m. where I have to log in and check and, tick either green tick. Yes, I did it. Red tick, red cross. No, I didn't. I really don't like seeing the reds. So that's something that has motivated me. I also have like a daily goal tracker up on my wall, which my kids can see. And so they'll make comments if I haven't filled it in. They'll be like, did you not do what you were supposed to do today? We don't get where we want to be if we're not doing what we're supposed to be, Mum.
Right.
So, little constant reminders from them and that sort of thing. But I mean, admittedly too, like whilst that all helps, there are some times where you sort of get into a bit of a slump and you lack motivation and that sort of thing. And I found for me, actually, the best thing is to say to my kids, look, I really need to get back into doing this. Can you please, check with me tomorrow that I've done it? And because my daughters are on the autism spectrum, but highly functioning, and so they're quite rigid with their routines, and they will remember if I say, this is what needs to be done.
Sure.
And if you don't do it, then like they can't quite grasp why you're not doing it. And so it has to be done. And so that level of accountability really helps. But also my sister and I have regular check-ins to see how we're going with weight loss and health and all that sort of stuff. So I think the accountability factor for me is a big one, as well as being able to track it and seeing it both on my phone and having those reminders and on the wall.
Yeah, no, I love that. Very cool. I like getting your kids involved. That's fun.
Yeah, there's hell to pay if I don't do what I said I was going to do. So yeah, it's really good.
So sometimes people tell me that we talked about this a little bit before, but they're way too busy to make fitness a part of their lives. What would you maybe share with them to help them reconsider that notion?
I think that it's a load of crap. Without meaning to be really obnoxious, many people have said to me that they don't know how I fit in everything that I fit in. Like I'm a full-time mom, I run a company, I buy and sell websites, I do public speaking, I do a lot of charity work. I'm very involved with my kids and their sports, my sports. Like they play football and we do a heap of travel. Like we have so much going on, and I don't think I would be able to do as much as I do if I didn't have that exercise daily and was, getting outside and getting vitamin D in the sun and all that sort of stuff. I think if you think you're too busy for it, you're never going to fit it in and your health is going to suffer. But the other thing is too, what if your health does go completely? Like if you think about it and you look at it, I, for 9 months in 2015, was paralyzed. I had level 10 pain, which is where you black out because the pain is so intense. Childbirth is only a level 8, and I had to have multiple surgeries, and there was a cancer scare in the middle of that. When your health is gone, it is gone, and no amount of money will bring it back. And I had to do a lot of work even since then to ensure that my health stays intact. And I look at it and I'm like, fortunately I had a very supportive family and everything to help me through it, but I could have lost everything. And I know plenty of people who have lost everything because they've lost their health. Right. And so doing those daily things to prevent really serious health issues later doesn't seem like such a sacrifice. I mean, it's 30 minutes, an hour here or there compared to possibly losing years.
Right. Yeah, we always often think that we have to put in so much time, but even like you said, like 30 minutes or even less can really help us for the health benefits. So
that's it. Well, even just changing some of your routine, like parking at the other end of the car park and walking up to the shops anytime you have to go to the shops, making a decision and going, if somewhere is within X distance of my house, I'm going to walk it instead of driving or instead of catching public transport or whatever. That was one of the things I committed to when I moved to Melbourne was, well, most things are within walking distance. I'll just allocate, a little bit extra time. And for most of the places that I need to go, the time difference between walking or driving is generally pretty minimal, because the traffic and by the time you park and all that sort of stuff, like it's not worth it.
Right. I find the same thing. It's like maybe, 2 or 3 minutes faster, but the stress of being in the car with the traffic is not worth it either.
That's the thing. And I've seen a couple of times where I've walked from my place, walked down to where I need to go, and then seen somebody who's driven, like left the same like apartments block that I live in. They've driven down and then they're looping the car park, and it's like, see ya. I'm going into the shops now and not stressed out by the traffic, and then they're trying to find a car park because you can't, because it's in the middle of the city.
Right.
And I just look at it, I'm like, wow, it was actually quicker for me to walk and not stressed out. And you get to clear your head whilst you're walking. And I often listen to podcasts, unless I'm walking with my kids. Obviously. Sure. But yeah, I'll often get to listen to podcasts, or when we're walking to and from school with my daughters, they'll often open up and chat about different stuff. And we have a really good relationship as a result. They ask really awkward questions sometimes, but that connection is there with them because we're walking everywhere together. And when you're walking, you just sort of, switch out and you're in a different headspace. So there's all those sorts of benefits as well. But the other thing is too, like I said, the incidental exercise, like if you've chucked something in the microwave for 30 seconds, do some squats, do a couple of push-ups. Like you don't have to go, all right, I'm going to do an hour every morning. As long as you're being really conscious and making sure you're fitting in stuff during your day, then it'll all add up over the day. You may find that just by doing those incidental bits and those bits of walking that you did an hour of exercise without having to go, I need to block an hour here for yoga.
Right. No, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
I like that reframe for sure.
Yeah.
Something fun that we've been doing is the little fitting in fitness dare, a little fitness challenge for listeners so that they can maybe get inspired if they're daredevils listening, that they might want to try something that you recommend that they can try to get started.
Yes. So this year, I dedicated this year to being the year of new, which is why I'm doing, the classes are actually burlesque classes. And
very fun, yeah.
So my dare would be to select something that you've wanted to do for a long time or that scares you a little bit, and to book it in, pay for it, and commit to it and go do it. Even if it is 8 weeks of a burlesque class or pole dancing, or if it's skydiving and you want to be sure that you're fit for it or whatever, book it in and have that deadline for when it's happening and what you need to do to get to it. But have it be something that is new to you. Like, make sure it's new, because you're surprised once you commit to something new and start doing it. It can be amazing how much fun it can be once you get past the absolute terror of sucking at it, like me. It can be really cool, and you might discover some sort of exercise that you want to do long term and enjoy doing a lot more than like push-ups and sit-ups and that sort of thing.
Right. It makes a difference when you enjoy it, but you might not know that you're going to enjoy it if you don't try it. So
that's it. So try something new and tell me.
Yeah. I love that. So we can get them to find you on social media for that then.
And be like, hey, I tried the most random class and it sucked, but I did it. That will make me feel better. No, join the classes. And yeah, because there's so much out there to do. Like, you can do so many different types of dancing. My kids are doing hip hop, but there's belly dancing. It doesn't have to be dance, but obviously that's what we're focused on in my family at the moment.
Yeah.
But just find some sort of class. Everybody I know that I've spoken to that has joined some sort of class has found it to be way more beneficial than their previous weights routine at the gym.
Sure. Yeah. If you're actually motivated, you're going to actually be consistent too. So that's half the battle, right?
Exactly. And in the class, you've got other people, so you're kind of accountable there too. They expect you to show up every week.
Right. No, that's definitely true. Yeah. So just so we can maybe take the focus off fitness, or you can add in some fitness things for these last 2 questions too. But wondering, Kylie, if you have a quote or a mantra that you live by that could give us some inspiration.
So my main quote has always been, I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I choose to become. And it's because of everything that I've been through with domestic violence, homelessness, robbery, paralysis, all that sort of stuff. I needed to believe that to be able to do everything I did. But it's true. It doesn't matter what happens to you in your life. How your life continues from that point onwards is up to you. And you get to determine where you're going to end up and what's going to be in your life and how it's going to be.
Love that. No, it's definitely true, and a good way to frame things. And I know that's really inspirational. I know you've been through a lot. I don't know if you have any added inspiration that isn't necessarily a quote, but something that you could leave us with. Doesn't have to be fitness related, just to to help us close out today?
Yeah, sure. So I think for me, one of the biggest things that I recommend everybody do and start practicing is to have an attitude of gratitude.
Mm.
In that, so every night I write down at least 3 things that I'm grateful for in my journal. But also whenever something bad is happening or something that I think is too much for me to deal with or whatever, I reframe my thinking and I think, how can I be grateful for this happening? What lessons can I learn from this? And what opportunities can come from this? And I try to focus on it that way. And then it doesn't seem so bad. And it's amazing once you start reframing your thinking and being grateful for things, how much easier it is to do everything else in your life and how much easier it is to overcome those major hurdles. And by reframing it, you have that more positive view on things. Because if I'm being negative, it takes a whole lot of energy. And I understand depression and those sorts of things because I've been there. So I'm not wanting to downplay like mental health issues. If there are any of that, like definitely go get help and do whatever you need to do to overcome that.
Sure.
But in general, it can be really easy to get caught up in those sort of negative thinking. So if you reframe everything with a view of gratitude, it can really help you.
Love that. That's definitely a good way to end. And well, I'm definitely grateful to have you joining us, Kylie, all the way from the other side of the world.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And just to let people know, because especially they have to check in after that dare. So where can people find you and anything you have going on that's special that people should know about? Definitely want to have you share about that.
Yes. So the 2 main places I'm at are the Thrifty Issue or Kylie Travers, which if you look it up on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, I'll be there on all of them. Yeah, the main things I've got going on at the moment are more just based on finance. So if you're wanting to find ways to make and save money, that's what I'm predominantly sharing on social media. But yeah, hit me up, connect with me, and yeah, let me know what it is that you're doing. I manage all my social myself. So when you're talking, you'll be talking to me.
Love that.
Yeah, I like to clarify that with people. So yeah, just
Very cool. Thanks for offering to be such a good resource for us. And it's been really fun hanging out with you and chatting again today.
Yeah, same. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.
Hi, friends. It's Catherine, and I am here in Hartford, Connecticut today because I'm speaking to the Hartford Happiness Club as their March speaker this evening. So if it is still Thursday, March 1st, 2018, and you can get to Hartford, Connecticut or have friends who live in the area, I would love to meet you, connect with you, reconnect with you, and or your friends. The event is free to attend. Really honored to be the speaker for this event and would love your help spreading the word. So definitely share the information whether you live in Connecticut or not. And I hope to see you this evening at the Hartford Happiness Club's event. Head on over to fitarmadillo.com/books for all the info, location, and details. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you tonight and that you have subscribed to the podcast so that I can also chat with you more tomorrow.